Welcome to another episode of Ask the Zamboni Experts podcast. I'm your host, Marty Elliott, here with Justin Fidler, manager of the Kamoka Wellness Center in Kamoka, Ontario. Justin, thanks for joining us. How are things?
Thanks, Marty. Everything's good.
We've had the opportunity to speak many times over the last couple of years. You were, if I'm not mistaken, yourself, I believe Dylan Learn, and someone else was our first guest of our very first episode of Ask the Zamboni Expert podcast. Do you remember that?
Years ago, and I do. I believe it was to do with the level ice at the time as well. Right near the middle of COVID, everybody was clammed up, but it was great. You know what? I've been following it and love hearing the people talk, and love hearing. And you've had different, I'm going to say, experts, whether it's management, whether it's people in the field, whether it's sales, whether it's somebody on the line. So it's great to hear everything that's going on.
Yeah, definitely some great topics, some great guests that we've had on, including yourself and those that we'll speak of. So, Justin, share with the audience what your position is today, the facility that you're operating. What does that look like? I mean, there's a lot of things going on at your facility you and I have spoken about nonstop. I think the power would stay on 24/7, 365 if it could due to supply and demand. And it sounds like your demand is way up and you're fighting for supply. So maybe you can share with the audience what's happening.
For sure. Thanks, Marty.
Yeah.
Municipality in Middlesex Center, kind of a municipality that is kind of outside of London. And we have two different ice rink facilities, one double pad, Kamoka Wellness Center, and a small single pad at the Elderton Arena. Our supply and demand at the Kamoka Wellness Center has seen significant increases over the last, I'm going to say 3 or 4 years, kind of coming out of the COVID, Marty. And with that, to the point now where we are 100% no ice available 7 days a week from 6:30 a.m. to midnight. And that includes the summertime as well. So essentially, staff, we run two 10-hour shifts, and staff are coming in early morning to do that minimal ice maintenance, and we'll get into that later on.
Sure.
And then the afternoon shift comes in at 3 o'clock, and they're here till 1 a.m. So our ice rentals typically end between 12 and 12:15, and then the final double flood, light edge, and then they can get through rooms with our staff, and then they're heading out. With that, our ice is predominantly, obviously, hockey and skating. So we have Elderton Skating Club. We have the Montreal Ice Academy, Scott Moyer, training Olympic and professional figure skaters from across the world. So, at any given time, we could have Olympic skaters on our ice. So never one to sacrifice ice quality at any given time. And then right from all of minor hockey, right from beginners, that little type program, or I guess U6 or U7, whatever it's called now, and then right up to we do have a team in the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League, the Kamoka Kings, and we also have a AAA association that has right from U10 to U18. And then recently as well, the Thames Valley School Board, through the ASAD program, Athletic Student Abilities Development, they are renting quite a few hours of ice on a daily basis for their hockey programs. And then also through that, there is a U16 and U18 varsity team that is traveling across Ontario and the northern states, competing with teams as well. And they're taking up a lot of that daytime ice that traditionally in most rinks would sit empty, but from that 6:30 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week, we do not have an hour of ice available for that maintenance per se, or that age-old, oh yeah, it's Thursday, we're going to block off ice for 8 hours and go out and shave, edge, and do everything else. So we are kind of, I'm going to say, in my 28 years in the industry, it's kind of the first that I've started to see this, and it's been somewhat of a paradigm shift for myself as I'm going to say, an old timer in the industry, to recognize and realize what is going on in the industry, and realizing what other tools are out there in the our toolbox that we can have available to make this work for us.
Right. You know, and I know you're going to get into this, the paradigm shift that you were speaking to, which, I mean, you've been on the rink side. I've never been on the rink side, as you know, myself, except for as you in a user group format. But the time that I've spent in this industry, almost 17 years now, what you're speaking to, and the audience, when you're listening to Justin speak to this, try and apply what he's talking to as we go further down this rabbit hole about what we are traditionally used to what I believe you, Justin, and your team have become more proactive at time of, not until then being ice maintenance day, but at time of doing each and every flood. Maybe you can share even deeper about that mental attitude, I think is fair in saying, that you and your staff have going into that environment of every single flood of every hour of the day, or on the every 30 minute of the hour. Yeah, maybe go ahead and share that.
Yeah, definitely. So it is challenging, right from from rookie drivers to experienced drivers, to get them into the mindset that every flood, ice maintenance has to be first and center every cut you do. So what that leads to is each and every flood's important, because I don't care if you're going out to do a flood for a U7 game, or you're going out to do a second intermission flood for a junior hockey game, or you're going out to resurface after the Olympic ice skaters.
Right.
You have to have the mindset that each and every ice cut you do is attributing or mitigating your ice maintenance and or ice quality. So you have to be front and center how much am I taking off? I cannot just rely on the level ice. I cannot just set the blade and forget it. I have to, I have to be mindful and read the ice. And that's, you cannot just, there's a lot of technology out there, but you cannot, I guess, say, form a reliance on it. You have to learn to read the ice, and it's challenging, and it can be a daunting task at times, knowing that it can change from one flood to the next. It can change from one ice rental to the next. So every factor is going to play into it as well, Marty. And your building systems, it's not just the ice. It's not just the Zamboni. You get into the dehumidification, you get into your refrigeration plant, you get into your water quality. They all play that role in what we as facility operators, and you as that ice, and I'm speaking, when I say you, I meant the ice operators.
Yes.
In that professional that we're trying to give them, that they have to gone are the days where I'm a Zamboni operator and that's what I do, or I'm an ice resurfacer operator, and in between floods, I'm going to clean the dressing room and that's it.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yep.
In between floods, you're making sure that your dehumidification is on par, your ice quality, your refrigeration plant, and there's just so much more. So it's evolved, the role has evolved, and that's where I'm trying to get to the point. And then you go back, Marty, you said you've been in the industry 17 years. I think we can all go across Ontario and beyond and name off rinks on our hands that, at the ice maintenance day, we're blocked off for 8 hours. You can't take any ice rentals. We're going to go out and take 15 boxes of snow off the ice, and then we're going to do that. Well, you know what? I was looking, and I've been down there. Don't get me wrong. And it used to be the thing to do. You come in, have your coffee, change the blade, and then you knew you had 5, 6, 7 hours to go do what we had to do. So some days you'd only not have to do too much. Other days you do more. So with that, I think the mindset of what are we as facility operators selling? What do we sell? We sell ice. We do not sell downtime. We do not sell maintenance time. So, being as we sell ice, what do you try and do? Well, you try and sell as much as you can, and you got to also, quality is there. So, you're not going to sell if you can't provide quality.
Right.
So it's all part of that paradigm shift I was mentioning, and how we're getting there. And by reducing the amount of downtime, and that downtime is the maintenance time. That is it required, or is it just an age-old tradition that has been there? Now I know there's going to be a lot of naysayers out there, and I'm prepared, and I was one of them. And I know I can, I'm willing to talk to people, and how can you keep up with the maintenance? Well, that's where you have to look at other tools and other processes and other, steps that can eliminate some of those traditional maintenance periods. And I think over the years, with the tools in the facility operator's toolbox that has been available has increased tremendously. And it's little things like, it could be as little of things such as a ice measurement device through Sub-Zero. I'll give a little plug. I'm a firm believer in it because it helps.
Tarantino.
Yeah. And I know he's been on here as well. Yep. So, and then you go down, I think, Marty, from as long as you've been in the business, I've had level ice. And I'm a firm believer in that. And then not too long after you got in the business, I also saw the benefits of fast ice. So these are all tools that can go into your operator's toolbox and use to reduce the amount of effort and reduce the wear and tear on machines, refrigeration equipment, ice resurfacers, and operators' arms for cutting ice. And what that does is if you reduce all that, it puts added hours back into your inventory for ice allocation that you can sell, and it increases your ice quality. So there is where we started. I had a vision of where we were, where I wanted to get to, and it took time, but I think we were somewhat forced into it by these groups and the added influx of rentals ice time they needed.
Yeah, no auction unless you're planning on building another double rink beside the existing one.
No.
So utilize what you have, and let's dig a little deeper into that, Justin. You spoke to it sounds like being more proactive than reactive. Reactive being set aside that 6 to 8 hours a week and away we go, drink my coffee, do my edging, yada yada, do my tapping, everything you normally do in a nice maintenance day, compared to being proactive, having the mindset of yourself and your operators knowing exactly, understanding their ice, because they are selling ice, understanding if they're using level ice, do I stay in automatic mode, set it and forget it, or do I go into manual mode? And these are all the things. And I'll tell you, if I had a nickel for every phone call I get about people going, my ice isn't the greatest after I use level ice. And I said, well, do you remember when I trained you about going into manual mode? Because if your ice is less than desired thickness on the right, you have to go into manual mode or you won't be giving the best ice to your customer. Oh yeah, I remember that, Marty. Okay, well, follow that procedure. Oh yeah, okay. Then they, I talk to them a little bit later and go, hey, it worked. Well, I'm not giving you a fable. It's factual. So understanding what you're trying to, I guess, at the end of the day, trying to succeed at is selling the best ice possible, which it certainly seems to me, Justin, with the plans and the SOPs that you have in place, you're hitting those boxes every single day, which is allowing you to have some of the greatest ice, of course, in the industry, but some great customers. Let's touch base on some of your customers. You talked about the Montreal Skating Club and Scott Moyer. He was one of my guests on our podcast, but maybe you can talk about what has happened in that industry as it pertains to your facility and your rentals.
Yeah, the Montreal Ice Academy, through Scott Moyer, they're training Olympic athletes from across the world, and we're seeing a influx. Scott's a great a great feedback, a great resource for ice quality, great skaters. There are times where, I will admit, we do, if a U18 team is on the ice for an hour and a half prior to figure skating going on, as with any rink, we
Sure.
do have to get a double flood on, but it's there. But so his skaters, with it being an Olympic year, he's seeing an uptick in his registrants from across the world. So that added ice time. The synchronized skating seems to be growing, and I don't know if it's just southwestern Ontario or if that trend is carrying throughout Ontario and beyond, Marty. But synchro seems to be in our facilities. The Ilderton Skating Club with their synchro teams is they're having great success, and whether that has led to increased registrations. And it's hard on the ice. You put 16 to 20 skaters on the ice at high level. It's a challenge for knowing what has to be done after to bring it back.
Right.
And then in the summertime, the summer training, both off ice and on ice training at the NHL and the CHL level, we continue to see programs expand within our facilities that bring in the I'm going to say that semi-pro and those pro skaters that are demanding the top quality ice that they can get. And of course, they don't want to hear the excuses. It's raining outside. It's 32 degrees outside or anything like that. That's where it comes into you as a facility operator, knowing the building environment and what role that has on your ice quality.
So that customer certainly has demands based on what they're looking for ice conditions, and that's something interesting you speak about. Coming off a AAA, 3 periods of hockey, beating the crap out of the ice, to going into somewhat of a technical type of rental when it comes to figure skating. What are your operators doing to make sure they're giving the best ice possible to that next user group, going from hockey to figure skating? Anything in particular that they're doing besides pulling out their hair?
That's about it. You've been there many times, Marty. Look at it's challenging, and every facility is going to be, it's the same, but it's recognizing that going or having the foresight to recognize that, I could have a problem here. Do we have another operator in the building? We have the luxury here of a backup, a secondary Zamboni that we can get out, or no, we don't. It's only me. I'm going to have to back up the ice. That 10 minutes for another flood. I will always support an operator if they don't need to come and ask me permission. I will 100%, if we are asking the operator to provide the quality of ice, if they feel they have to back up the ice schedule to do another flood, another ice cut, I 100% will support them. So what they will do, if it's cut up really bad, obviously, as we talked earlier, manual mode, get that full box of snow off and wash water and a light layer of water, and then come off the ice, and then reload and come back out. And you might be another half to 3/4 of a box with heavier water to bring that ice back. But you know what? On a very rare time, unless a team, more so at the CHL level, the OHL, where if a team's on a losing streak, or at very poor showings the last 2 or 3 games, where the coach asked the pucks to be left off the ice, put a puke pail at the middle, and that you're in for more than a 10-minute bringing the ice back. So that's where having that great relationship with all the user groups and the ability for the operators to know the users and recognize, I'm going to go tell them we're going to back things up 10 minutes, and then our guest services will they'll pitch in and help, and they'll make calls if let people know it's going to be 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and that. So having the ability to read that ice, having the ability to make a decision on the fly without repercussions to, at the end of the day, we want to make sure the ice is good and safe to use. And that's what the end user is expecting.
I love this whole program you're sharing with the audience. So let's talk about, I mean, you guys are busy all the time, and everything going on with your facility. Let's go into a Toronto market. Apply everything you're speaking to. The operator, and getting jammed. I got lousy ice given to the next user group, but I haven't got the time to be able to fix it due to the next rental, so on and so forth. Where do I start to get my boss, being a Justin Fidler, to be able to have an open mind to think like Justin Fidler, what you just shared with the audience? How do you recommend going about that to be able to change that or have that paradigm shift from what we're used to maybe delivering the best quality product, and that is the ice itself, to our user groups?
I would say it has to start. You know what, you could, it'd be twofold, Marty. One, it has to start at the supervisor/management level, but it also has to start at the operator level, that facility operator, that they have to go in with the mindset that I want to put the best quality ice out there that I can. And you know what, so to do that, I might need additional equipment. I may need, let's do a walkthrough. That's where, and I'm not putting plugs out there, Marty, or anything like that, but reach out to Zamboni and get their service team in to do a once over on the machine. Is the lift arms? Is there bearings going? Is the flood bars plugged up? All that attributes to, and that a 1 hour, 2 hour inspection, and yes, it may lead to some money, but at the same time, one lawsuit for poor ice, or somebody deems it poor ice, it's going to be a lot more. So that operator, if they go in with the mindset that I want to put the best quality of ice out there each and every time, complacency, if you let it slip for one flood, that just becomes normal then. So you have to go in all the time. And that's where the managers or the supervisors have to have the belief and the trust in their operators, which you have to. And with the mindset that ice is your product that you're selling, then you know what, you better take care of it, and you put some time and effort into it.
So let me ask you, would you involve the major tenants that are coming into your facility, like the Montreal Skating Academy, like the GOHL, like your AAA minor hockey? Do you involve yourself at the beginning of the season with any of these groups and say, hey, listen, this is what we're trying to accomplish. We might not be able to get there, but if we are going to get there, we might, I'm just giving an example, might have to chew up 2 or 3 or 5 minutes of your time, and it might delay everyone for the whole evening. Like, do you do that? Kind of give them a heads up prior to coming into the season?
The groups all know that, you know what, we hate putting somebody out on poor ice. If, the operators, some of them are hockey players, some of them are not. But at the same time, you try and teach them to read the ice better. But it's not that we involve the user groups, Marty, other than the fact that we love feedback. We solicit feedback whenever we can, and we're always open and always talking to the groups. It's not just hiding the back and have they left the building yet? Okay, now I can go out. Be out there, be vocal with them, be front and center with them, and discussing. We typically meet with the user groups at the end of the season, and but at the same time, we welcome their feedback at any given time, and we're always in discussions with them on future events, partnership with events, moving ice around to allow for a different, a tournament weekend or things like that as well.
Right. Great information you're sharing with the audience. I'm loving this stuff, and I'm sure the audience is going to appreciate what you're talking about. So let's come back, circle around, Justin, talking about what are the top 5 important things going from the old way of ice maintenance 6 to 8 hours a day to every ice and every day maintaining your ice to the best of your ability. What are those top 5 things that you can share with the audience that they need to put, if they aren't already doing it,
Yep.
start implementing it into their daily processes?
Building and equipment conditions. Preventative maintenance. I cannot speak enough about preventative maintenance, whether it's your refrigeration plant, whether it's your dehumidifier, whether it's your lights. Like, who wants to go in and skate on a dull rink with 8 lights out over the ice surface, down to the ice resurfacer, and whether tire pressures, water, everything else. So that's number one. If you cannot do the work if you don't have the equipment doing the work it's intended to do. And I'm not saying you have to have brand new equipment. Absolutely not. Our secondary machine, it's a 2012 with, I think it's 12,000 hours on it right now. So it's been around the block. It's made a lot of right-hand turns going up and down the ice surface. And it's equipped with level ice. So that's number one. Number two, staff buy-in and our management buy-in, and everything from staff training, getting them to give them the trust and empower them to make the ice the best they can. And we a lot of our sayings that we have here, and we're not here to be we're not here to be perfect. We're here to be awesome. And we try to get there. Awesome. A team can come in, a hockey team or a skating team, they might not win the game, but if the ice is awesome, they recognize that. Little Johnny, who struggles to pass a puck without it bouncing, he's making saucer passes, landing them, everything else. That's awesome to see. And the ice quality sometimes parlays into that having the ability for that to happen. So empowering staff. The next thing from there, never let complacency take over. Never, it's a U6 team or U5 team or whatever, or little can skaters. I'll just quick do a 7-minute flood, get off the ice, shut the doors, and be done with it. Never do it. Complacency leads to normalcy. It's kind of, I had a supervisor tell me that 27 years ago. So make every ice cut you do as if you were at the NHL level going out on the ice. That's the way to treat it. Number 4, Marty, I starting to struggle to, it's kind of filled in there, but continue to have that buy-in from your user groups as well, and with feedback. And then last, there's a fine balance between efficiencies with utilities and ice quality. So again, continue to seek new opportunities for improvement and enhancement. Is there new technology out there or coming down the line? The sky's never the limit. I know I've reached out and discussed, whether it's with a refrigeration contractor or Zamboni, can the machine do this? Or if, to suit our building better, could the machine have this purpose or whatever? And it's either no, or that's crazy, or that's a great idea. We should look at it. I'm surprised nobody else has ever asked about it.
or it's a great idea, but we have no man hours to be able to devote to be able to get what you're looking for done.
So, but that's not to say that sometime there will be, there are opportunities out there, but never be afraid to ask that stupid question or that that question, why can't the machine do this? And many of hours have been spent with a Zamboni technician and myself talking about heated snow bins and lasers that melt the ice instead of blades and everything else. And we have this $500,000 machine built, but nobody wants to buy it.
Yeah, a little out of the range for the municipal budget. Anyways,
But
no, and there's validity to that. Hence, I mean, a lot of people don't know V2 level ice, which is out there, not being sold yet, but that had a little bit of input from a Justin Fidler, if I'm not mistaken, which that'll be coming out soon, folks. So stay tuned.
Where we've been very successful in the our machine's doing 38 to 40 ice cuts a day. And, the question comes down with, so I relate it to 38 ice maintenance sessions a day that we're on the ice. And we're very fortunate in that with our ice and keeping the ice with the advancement and the level ice and the fast ice, we're still only at changing blade once a week as well. And
Nice.
we're not out there having to do those heavy cuts multiple times in a row. Yes, we do. If we are going into a manual mode to bring back ice, you might have that 3/4 box or that full box, but it's not continuous all the time. So we're able to get their daily edging. I can't stress that enough, or sometimes even twice a day. That edging, if done daily, is left it's a light edge. It's not, burning the batteries out or going through a full tank of propane, making 12 cuts around or laps around the ice with the edger.
Yes.
Can't stress enough on that. And we're doing our ice thickness 2 to 3 times a week as well. So where I was going with this, Marty, is with the cuts and daily edging and that, and what I've been able to find is what your ice thickness is more regularly, whereas before, we used to measure our ice thickness once a week, every Thursday or every Friday. Okay, we need to shave a 1/4 inch of ice off. Well, we've just carried an extra 1/4 inch for an entire week. So that added wear and tear on the machine and utilities is now we're seeing it and realizing it more in real time.
Right.
We can adjust, make those adjustments and hopefully seeing the improvements in the energy efficiency.
And you are seeing a difference in the energy efficiency numbers as far as electricity, hydro?
I can't. Yes and no.
Okay.
We continue to add, obviously, as we, if it was like for like, then yes, we would see it, but we're seeing added hours. So added hours has added run hours. Our building has expanded, so we're seeing added equipment operating in the building. So it's too hard to compare like for like it right away, Marty. But as far as run hours, I know we're seeing reduced because we're able to maintain that 1.1 inch ice levels. We're not in that 1.5 inch or 2 inches in the corners. So yes.
Yeah, that speaks when you say 1.1 inch, 1.12 of ice with 27 floods in a day. You have some good operators. I would refer to them as ice masters more than operators. That's pretty sweet, maintaining that ice thickness throughout the day. So bravo to you and your staff. Which leads me into talking about your staff, who I've met all of them, I believe, unless you've hired some new people.
No, they're still
and a shout out to your team, Justin. Speaks volumes about their leader. And who they are as a staff, and continue doing what you're doing. Justin, I just want to again thank you for being a guest. This is Marty Elliott, and we're wishing you an ice day.